We got to put the power back to the people. It's urgent that we stop the corrupting influence of big money in our politics. The dark money flooding into our elections divides us and conquers for the corporate elite. Things continue to get worse. I was a campaign manager for a state senate race in 2006. At that time, the most expensive state senate race in the history of Washington State. That wouldn't even come close to reaching the top tier 12 years later. Passing this resolution, this is the strongest and loudest statement we can make to say enough. And demand campaign finance reform, joining the 5 other states who have already passed similar legislation. Article 5 is crystal clear on the power of a convention called under this Constitution, a convention for proposing amendments. Any proposed amendment would have to meet an extremely high requirement for ratification, as we heard 3/4 of the states, and as a proposal coming out of Congress. We've done similar messages before. You might recall, for those of you around, in 2015, Representative Riccelli off the House floor did pass House Joint Memorial 4000. Many of us embraced the mantra of putting people first. We need to put people first and put this country ahead of interests and the wealthy few. I have the great honor of teaching a class in Eastern Washington of Masters of Public Health students, and it's in policy. And we talk about how policy is formulated, and these are graduate students, and they're scratching their head. Why doesn't the best public policy win the day? And I think one of the big reasons, I can look back from straight in the eye and say the reason it's not winning the day right now is because of the undue influence of big money in our elections. So I know a question was posed to our OPR staff to be odds makers. If we always look at the chances of passing stuff, we heard this a lot for many years. What's the chance? What's the chance if we pass something out of the House, it'll pass in the Senate? What's the chance of this and that? I think we got to just believe in the folks that want to see this. It's pretty overwhelming that folks want to see money taken out of politics. Libertarian, Republican, Democrat, when you actually talk to people, this is what they want to see move forward. And I'd ask that you consider moving this, and I'm really excited to hear from the people that showed up today. And the genesis really from my interest was people in Spokane consistently over the last 3-4 years talking to me about the influence of money in politics and what they can do as citizens, and they believe this is it, and I'm with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the sponsor? Representative Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, Representative Riccelli. So I think there may be a slight change in this one that opens the door a little bit, which I think is actually, we've got folks that have a lot of concerns that want to see a constitutional convention on a couple of really key issues. Have there been, other than, I'm looking at line 8 and 9 and 10, that the state of Washington sees the need for a convention to propose amendments in order to address concerns such as those. So that would leave us the ability to address maybe a couple of other key concerns. Do you read it that way, or is this exactly the early language that we had that was more focused on one decision?
On the actual language, I'll refer to staff. Me personally, I would like to see us address Citizens United and address the undue influence of big money in our politics. That's my enthusiasm and intent, but as the bill is written, as the joint memorial is written, I'd have to turn to staff to have them answer that, and I think that's how we can get the best answer.
Sure. So I think there's a lot of questions about how this would work in practice, right, because it's never actually happened in terms of limiting topics, and what if the memorials of Washington State are slightly different in language than other states. So I think there's some questions about that. The way I read this language specifically is it's talking about concerns such as those raised, right? And so that is sort of what it is. It doesn't specifically say only those raised in Citizens United. It's those types of issues. And it references cases long before and long afterwards. There have been a lot of other cases about campaign finance reform topics.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Representative Smith. I'd just add that I've heard lots of concerns out there, and I think if we always act out of fear and not out of trust in moving forward to try and improve this great nation, that we won't get a lot accomplished. I know this is a high bar, but if we don't start this conversation, and I think Washington can help lead the way with these other few states that have started.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
Thank you, and I agree. I think that we have several items that there are a lot of folks interested in, saying to the federal government, we need to do this differently. And so when I read that, I was actually encouraged that it may give us some flexibility to work with a handful. We want to, this is a high bar, we want to be really careful, but it is given to us in our Constitution. So I appreciate maybe that language giving us a little more flexibility.
Thank you, Reverend Smith. I would just, again, follow up and say, even folks maybe say, my email inbox will explode now, but I trust folks, and I think that we have the ability to handle these tough conversations. But I'm really concerned about, for my kids, my 8 and 5-year-old, for their friends, for the state of this country with big money. And I appreciate the champions on this committee, including Representative Pellicciati, for all he's done to work on getting corporate dollars out of our system.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?